if there is enough wind out here to declare this Tropical Storm Bonnie. However, notice here on the 3D satellite, we've got dry air working into the system. That is not really going to be a friend to any kind of development to this tropical depression. Dry air, when it comes in, it causes evaporation. Evaporation causes cooling, and cooling is not something that a tropical system wants and not something it needs to develop. It needs a warm atmosphere. So we'll keep an eye on this because it does seem to be strengthening despite the fact that it has some of these things working against it. All right, let's show you the latest statistics now on Tropical Depression number 3. With 35-mile-an-hour winds in the center, it's moving toward the west-northwest at 15 miles an hour. And as you can see on the satellite picture, just a lot of territory that this is covering. This is why we're still getting those flooding rains all the way back into Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Now we could see some flooding around the Bahamas, and eventually we might even see some flooding up toward South Florida. I mean, we could get a potential of anywhere between, say, 4, 5, 6, maybe up to 8 or 9 inches of rain in a quick period. Still, flash flood warnings are up for the Puerto Rico area as more rain squalls come into the area, and we very well could see those rain squalls inundate Florida tonight and into tomorrow, along with tropical storm force winds. That's why you're under a tropical storm warning here in South Florida, including Miami and all the way over toward Naples. Vivian?
There is also a rip current risk as this storm or this system approaches the Florida coast. Again, it's not a tropical storm. It is a tropical depression. It's the third one now of the season. And there you see from the east to central coast all the way to the west coast, we have to be aware now that the waters will be very choppy, and that will increase the chances of the rip currents. So bear that in mind. Right now, we do just have some higher clouds moving in. So we're beginning to see some of the signs now from our tropical depression. As we pan out a little bit more, you could see that we're already finding those very high clouds and the rain moving across the central parts of the Bahamas into the northern Bahamas, including Freeport and Nassau and Grand Bahama Island. So we're talking about tropical storm warnings have been issued for much of the northern Bahamas as well as the east coast of Florida up to Bonita Beach, actually on the west coast. Now, as you can see, the peninsula is immersed in very, very warm waters here, well into the 80s, mid-80s down toward Miami Beach. And speaking of the beaches, here's a look at the forecast now for Fort Lauderdale tomorrow and Saturday. Again, with that system approaching, that's going to increase the chance of tropical downpours. So definitely we will keep you posted on that. But what about other storms, Nick?
Well, we have storms that are inundating the Gulf Coast of Texas right now. Not something we want to see, as we anticipate perhaps seeing a lot more squally weather move into that area in the coming days due to our tropical depression that could be a tropical storm. So thunderstorms coming into that area, but I want to show you these thunderstorms here across the Great Lakes. Boy, these have held up a long time. These moved from the northern plains and held up all night long and are now continuing to bring some heavy rain into areas of Wisconsin, on into Michigan. You know, if we could get these just a little bit farther toward the north, they may actually do us some good. Up toward northern portions of Wisconsin and upper Michigan, that's where we have drought conditions, and that's where we could use the rainfall. So as we keep an eye on these thunderstorms, we might see a few of these turn severe today. Spotty thunderstorms here down toward areas south of Indianapolis, moving towards Cincinnati. Louisville, Nashville could see a thunderstorm or two, but no warnings on these right now. And back toward the southwest, there's that monsoonal moisture, the locals call it, moving up once again. Vivian?
Okay, you know we're all over tropical depression number 3 as it moves toward the Gulf of Mexico. Now, crews are trying to cap the ruptured oil well, and they may have to put their efforts on hold again. We'll have a full report this coming up, so stay with us. There is so much more because this system definitely could cause some problems. Remember, as tropical depression 3 impacts your area, we'd like for you to document it. Send it to us if you can.